Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my Hardcore Minecraft series. In the last episode, we did all the nether stuff, so we're getting more progressed in the game itself. But in today's episode, I want to do a bit more building. I had a lot of fun building this structure here, even though it took me forever gathering all the resources. In the last episode, I said I wanted to work on the village on the plains behind my house here, and up in the cherry forest. So I'm going to go do a bit of resource gathering, and then we can start building up a village for the villagers, where I'll eventually ship them all over and give them much nicer houses to live in. So let's get to it. Alright, so here we are up on top of the mountain. We've started clearing out space, and if I walk a little bit forward here and then activate this, we can see the structure. So I've changed it from the spruce and dark oak that it originally is in my Book to Block series, and I've changed it to the cherries mostly. I changed the inside from oak planks on the bottom to looks like dark oak up there, and on the ground it'll be dark oak as well when I remove the grass here. So let's get to building it. Alright, so I went around and I gathered wood for about an hour of these cherry trees. As you can see, some of them are kind of disposing in the background, dissolving away, just because I kept running out so often. Because I guess I didn't actually read how many logs I needed. I just looked at how many stairs and planks. So I needed many more stacks. So I probably spent an extra hour on this just because I had to gather so many more resources. But with that, let's get back to the video. Alright, so we've made it all the way through this build here. Oh, we got some mobs in, so I'm gonna rush inside quickly. Close the doors after me, both sides. I'll just give a quick little tour whilst it's night, because I forgot to bring a bed out here. So, first off, we got a little bit of decoration in here with like this countertop. In the original build, this was just pasted in, so I already had pre-built all the interiors, all decorated, but I didn't do all of them for the recreation using Lightmatica. So like here would go like a furnace or something, and have a little kitchen. I'm going to do a little bit different since this will be a villager's house. So I'll have to reorganize everything, put some things in. So we got our front door, a little back door to a balcony, look view over the ocean out there. We can come up to our second floor, and we got another little better balcony with a great view. A little hard to see whilst it's dark out, but it gives a great view of the entire kind of lake out river, or more river-like, not quite a lake, out into the kind of ocean. At least I assume it's an ocean because I haven't gone to the other side quite yet. Then if we head up one more floor, we're onto the third floor. We got some nice windows with good views, and a little kind of storage nook where I can keep any little things I need to hold. Oh, is that raining? Sounds like it's raining out there. And then onto the top floor. In the original build, this was the bedroom, but since this will be for villagers, it doesn't make sense to have the bedroom all the way at the top. It'll take too long to get up here. So I'll probably lower it to maybe the second floor. And then one more balcony, just to look out onto the lands around here. I did notice when I was finishing, I missed a couple blocks because Lightmatica can be a little tricky sometimes, if you don't have the exact block right at the same time, or if you just don't know if you've placed it yet. So I'm going to have to go around and fix those, as well as these. These used to be upside down stairs, but with the window being a pane, it's hard to, it doesn't kind of attach over like it usually would, so I have to just replace that with a regular block. Alright, instead of relying on RNG for getting these egg hatches for my infinite chicken farm, I've decided just to go and grab one. So I'm going to drop it down here into this kind of hopper area. And let's see if I can get him in. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Down you go. Alright, so now every egg that he lays is going to go into down here. So if we come down here now. So we've got a just basically dispenser, and there's a bit of lava behind here. So anytime one of them grows up, they'll use this here as a slab. So the top half here, if I remove this, you can see. So the two hoppers will put into this, and then it'll shoot onto here, and the the chicken will grow up, die, the stuff will go into here, and then I'll get all my cooked chicken in here. So that is a little bit better version of what I had originally planned, so I kind of messed around with a couple techniques and got that done. So now that we have our chicken, We actually have an extra egg. Let's see if we can get lucky with this one. And the first one I throw, of course, creates a chicken. So when that guy grows up, I'll breed these two together, get many more, and keep an eye on them from here. But now we have our kind of chicken farm going. So that's another thing. I won't have to worry about food as much. Alright, so I'm not sure if this redstone is actually going to work, but the plan is we have our chickens up here. So when they lay an egg, it'll go into here and get pushed into the dispenser. Once there's an egg in the dispenser, it'll activate this comparator, send this redstone signal back to here, which then powers the dispenser. So if I were to quickly toss one in here, you can see it automatically dispensed it right away, but since it was a block, it just burnt it. I'm not sure how the chickens are going to survive. What I could do is if I can find some of my leftover glass. I really need that sorting system really bad right now. There we go, got some glass. So, it should be right around here. So if I go like this and quickly block these, I think I'm going to remove these and turn them back into tuff just so I don't get any lava catching. So hopefully we can see one of the chickens coming to here pretty soon. Alright, so what happened was a chicken was spawned, so it does work, but the problem was the second egg, oh, so here it is, the second egg hit the chicken, knocked him up into lava, which means before it grew up, it got burnt. Like that, you see that? There you go. So I'm gonna have to do some troubleshooting and figure out how to fix this. Alright, so I found the workaround. So this is kind of a newer thing that's been happening with, I guess, how they updated how chickens work. So the way to do it now is, instead of just a block, you use a cauldron full of lava. And instead of this block, oh, I don't have my pickaxe on me, I put that away whilst I was resorting everything. What you do is you replace this bottom slab with a stone cutter, just because it's ever so slightly taller than a slab. So if you compare here, you can see it's about 1 pixel taller. So we do that. I guess I'm gonna have to go grab some more glass, just so I know it's working. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so hopefully that works a little bit better. I am starting to organize it better. I brought all my chests up to this floor so that I can get some use, and then I'll probably have like the bedroom up in the top floor. Not that it'll be used very much, but it'll just be kind of a nice build to do. So I've gone around with these tough bricks. I'm gonna have to go collect some more, just getting those in. So I've got my organization here, kind of the valuables in here, tools. This is more of like the wildlife and stuff like that, and like byproducts. This one I haven't sorted. This is general blocks, random blocks, wood, and then these, I got a redstone one here, and then these two are kind of just in the process of being sorted. So I kind of, eventually I'll have to make a much better sorter, but this build is a little bit too small to get like a one of everything block sort of thing. So once I get a larger build going, that's probably where I'll build my super order item sorter and things like that. But I guess now that everything is out of the basement here, I kind of kept this grass here. It kind of looked a little cool. I'm growing these bush things, the berries. I don't remember the name of them right now. And then I've slowly added a little bit more. Let's see. Can we check? No, I don't got. Oh, I got a book. So I'm up to 26. So I'm almost at a max, even though I'm only at 21 levels. So I've just got to wait and see if this works. Probably just leave it on the background whilst I go do some real life things, or maybe whilst I go and collect things. Let's sleep first, and then I'm going to go collect all my iron that's kind of trapped in the iron farm. I haven't been grabbing it as of yet. I do have an auto crafter, but I don't really have all the necessary things to make it work. Plus, it's not really the most efficient iron farm, so it's not like it's going to overflow with iron. And even if it does, an entire chest full of iron is already enough for anything I'll need in the short term. Oh, I don't have a weapon. Guess we're going to pickaxe this guy. Don't want to deal with any creeper holes. Alright, one more hit probably. There we go. Alright. And I've got a crafting table here, so I can just turn it all into blocks. Looks like some of them are missing. So let's grab all those out. Grab those arrows too, those might be useful. And then let's make a couple blocks here, just to make it easier to move. Boy, that's loud. Alright. Alright, so I've bred the chickens a couple more times. Nothing has happened quite yet. I haven't gotten any spawned. So what I'm going to do is also wait for that. Oh, one more just went off? Nope, okay. I'm going to get over and do the villagers. I'm going to grab a couple. I've grabbed some rails and a couple carts. I got even a couple powered rails. I think that's going to be the best way to transport them to their new home. I'll steal a couple beds from the village just so that they can move in and feel safe over there. I'll of course have to, maybe I'll grab a iron golem. Let's see if I can grab enough iron from the farm. I already moved most of it back, see if it's refilled, so that I can get up some protection in that area, because I don't think with only 2 villagers it's enough to spawn like all of the golems or anything on its own. Alright, I got some here. Let's see how many blocks I get of that. Okay. There we go. Alright, so we can grab a couple iron golems with that. I know there's a pumpkin patch over here, so I'll grab a couple pumpkins. And I've got enough for shears, so I can turn them into the carved pumpkins I need. And then let's see if I can move them over. Alright, so that took way longer than I expected, and you can probably tell this is the first time I've ever actually moved villagers. I probably, when I decide to move the rest, I'm probably going to make a sky bridge out of just dirt and just keep it at one length. This guy better not be running away. Lucky for this one, I've placed my lectern in here for the one villager, and then the 2 beds up here. I don't know where my other villager went. He's kind of disappeared, that's not good. Maybe he's exploring the upper floors, or is he out here? Nope. Because that's my efficiency 4 villager. Uh-oh. Where is he gone? Is he hiding along the sides here? Oh, wow. Oh, there he is. Alright. So they're kind of around the area. It's getting to night, so let's see if they run back in. I don't like how far this guy's getting away. But as it gets closer to night, right, they seem to be pathing back to their original village, so we gotta be ready to capture them again. Alright, this is not good. Do I have any boats? I do not. No, okay, that was a waste of half an hour. And these guys are probably going to die because they're definitely not making it back, so I'm going to have to protect them all the way. Oh no. I don't like you guys. So it seems I'm going to have to destroy the village before. Alright, let's get to protecting these guys. Come on, get back. Go, go, go. I guess I'll have to worry about moving these guys once I've finished the other village and I can completely destroy this one. Come on, get back to your house. Alright, what's this guy doing? Alright, he's wanting to go. I guess because I removed the stuff for the other houses. This one's got a bed. Yes, it does. Ooh, I don't want to risk my life for it. I was getting a little close. Got a shield. No, but I got a bow. Ooh, that was close. And now this guy's running away. Alright, this is... Alright, I'm giving up on that. Closing this door. I guess I'm gonna harvest this floor. Some wood. See if I can quickly skip the night. Alright, now that I think about it, this village up here actually might be closer So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make an area where I can kind of trap them. So I'm going to get some fences and make them out of the trees here, and then see if I can maybe drag a couple of villagers from that village over there, maybe make it a little bit easier. Oh, I found my horse. My horse. He's all the way up here, so he's been making his trek up to the top of this mountain. Alright, let's grab him and use him to get all the way to the village quickly. I'm going to do this one instead with a boat, since I'm at a higher altitude now with this village. It'll be easier just to take a boat and maybe hug the wall as much as possible, and that'll get me most of the way so that I can bring these guys back. Alright, so the only villager I found is this one, and he's a green coat, which I think that means he's a nitwit, which means he's not going to be able to have a profession. So, instead of using this village, I guess, man, these villages are just getting wiped out from 3 villages at the start all the way down to basically 1. And it's not even much left in that one, so I'm going to have to move quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start looking for a village somewhere else, and that is not a good idea because that's going to be so much more work in transporting these guys. So I'm going to make a quick sky bridge out of dirt, and then I think I'll transport them by boat this time, because then I'll have more control over them. This is getting very frustrating. Alright, so I'm going to transport this one. I'm starting to move him by using these cauldrons to make him want to get a job. Every time I break one, he goes to the next one. And then once he gets to this one, I break, and I just continue a chain all the way over here. And if I can get him even further, let's see how far I can get him. So I'll go for this one, break, next one. Alright, come on, buddy. It's right there. Right. How about this one? Alright, and then I've got to get him all the way up here. So let's bring one more. Oop, he shoved me off there. Alright, and there we go. Alright, so I placed a cauldron right behind here, which means I can now get in here and transport him. Alright, that's my horse, not a creeper. Looked a little green. But I can bring him over this way. And I shall trap him this time instead of letting them walk free, which was my mistake last time because they still thought the past village was theirs. So let's see if I can get 2 villagers over here, and then I'll start up a villager breeder. Alright, up, and you go. Alright. Now you are trapped, and you cannot leave. Let's break those. Break anything that might let a mob near. Make this a cage. Not actually sure if they can attack through this, so I'm going to make it even more of a cage. I am not risking losing this guy. And then we'll put a roof on you. Absolutely nothing can get to this villager. I'm not risking losing any more villagers. Right. Now, just gotta do that all over again with another villager and hope that there's one over there. Alright, so I have scoured this entire village, and I think this is the last villager left. So that means my efficiency 4 villager has died. Somehow died in that night when I came back. Got my house full of extra doggies I found whilst doing a bit of exploring. But I think he is the last one. Problem is, he already has some levels, so I'm not sure if my trick for moving will work quite as well. But let's give it a shot. So we gotta get him over to that bridge over here. So let's maybe move his station over here. Will that move him? I've went around and removed all the beds. I've already lost him. Anyone in the well? No. There we go. Alright, so here he is. Let's see if I can maybe minecart him up. Shove him into this minecart. Okay, so I can do this Problem is, I got a lot of this dirt here, paths that are not as friendly. Ooh, I got a wandering trader here. Let's see, anything good? Nothing I'm gonna need, but what I want are these leads. Because I haven't found any slime yet, so these leads are great. We do leads on these yet? Does that work? Ooh, it does, okay. So this might actually make this much easier to do. I can just drag this guy up. Thank you. He's the second I'm able to get these guys up and running, I'm probably going to destroy these original ones, because this has been hours of work and not much reward yet. I'm starting to hate villagers, especially those path blocks with these boats. You'd think you'd be able to make it move up from a path block to a regular block, but no, it is not. Alright, we're almost there. We don't have to worry about using the cart or anything, because I can just use these leads. That'll make everything easier, and these leads will also be nice for my horse, because I won't have to worry about losing him again. I can just tie him up to a fence post. Alright, let's bring you over. Alright, so I've got a very basic villager breeder here. It's kind of inside in the ground because I just put it where I could. We've got our two guys. I'm not sure if this guy being a Fletcher is going to mess with things. Don't know if it has to be a regular villager. But I've got a farmer that's going to be making all the crops. I got to come back and give it a couple more seeds so I can finish up. Then once they come this way, this blocks any adult villagers, but the baby villagers will be able to jump through here, water through, and then I've got a little holding cell underneath. So we just got to make sure this is all filled up, and then we can see if it starts to work. So I'm going to go back to the base and grab some more seeds because I got quite a few in there. And whilst I'm on my way back, I'm going to make a dirt path. Just very basic. I hope I have enough dirt just from there to here, just so I can save some time making the trip back and forth constantly. And then eventually I'll make a much nicer bridge, maybe like a suspension bridge or something like that. We'll have to see how it goes. Alright, we're back at the base here. Just wanted to check in. And it seems, because I grabbed a couple chickens, it seems to be working. So that's good. Hopefully it keeps producing more and more eggs so that I get a stable set of a food source here. Let's go grab back that chicken because I'm going to need that because I don't have much other food. But now we've got these seeds, let's head on back. I made up the bridge real quick. Just out of dirt, I had just enough to kind of fill it in. Let's get back there. I've got a bed on me so I can skip this night so I don't get attacked by any mobs. But let's get back, fill in all the seeds, and then observe, see if it actually works as a villager breeder. Alright, so I've filled up the wheat around here, gave a bunch extra to these guys, just to kind of get it jump started, and we'll see if that works. And whilst they're doing that, I'm going to be kind of doing a bit of terraforming around here. I'm going to clear out a bunch of these trees and then plant them a little bit more spread out, because right now I just placed them in so I could have enough to build this, and in the process I'll be collecting more logs for the next build. So let's get to practicing this up and hopefully this works. Alright, we've got our first baby villager, so we can finally keep up. We don't have to worry about losing anymore. So what I'm going to do, this keeps them safe from the zombies and such. So I'll just let that kind of run constantly, and then once I get more villages, or like the houses in, I can start just releasing the baby ones, and then as they grow up, they can start just populating this area. So I have plenty more to remove these trees. Of course, I'll be putting them back, and I might even change them to custom trees later on. Alright, so with the villager breeder working and pumping out some new villagers, there's just the one right now, but as it goes, more I spend around this area, more I'll get. So I just gotta keep staying around this area so these who can breed up get me more. And then I can build some more, well, builds. I can clear out a bit more space, kind of plan it out. I'm gonna do a path through here. But I think that's enough for today's episode. We got a decent amount done. Got my chicken farm in my main base, as well as getting ready for all this villager stuff. I had to go through a lot of villager shenanigans in this episode, but it is making me realize how hard it is to actually deal with these villagers if you don't know what you're doing. So if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more episodes coming soon. Until next time.